afternoon, everyone. We are starting our Saturday Arts Afternoon with our friends at Houston in Action and other nonprofit partners that are also a part of this wonderful endeavor to promote the census. So my name is Armando Silva, and I am with Mecca Houston and Mecca at TBH. Our other co-host is the wonderful Raven, which you see on the screen, is Raven Douglas.
Yeah, we're super excited to be with you guys this afternoon and hopefully can brighten up your rainy afternoon.
Our first off performer is an amazing young lady from the Houston area in the 6th Ward. Actually, no, you were in the 1st Ward, right, Vanessa? 1st Ward, forgive me. I know
yes.
Those boundaries are special to people. So yes.
I was raised in 1st Ward, but 6th Ward was where Mecca was, so I basically grew up in 6th Ward.
There you go. Again, we want to remind everybody that the purpose of this is to encourage people to fill out their census. We want to make sure that you have everyone on there that has been in a specific home from April 1st. Make sure you count everybody. If they're alive and breathing, we want to make sure that you are counting them.
Absolutely. And as Armando mentioned, my name is Raven Douglas, and I'm one of our co-hosts for this afternoon. I'm the political director at MOVE Texas. MOVE is an acronym. It stands for Mobilize, Organize, Vote, and Empower. And we are a grassroots, nonpartisan, nonprofit organization building power for young people across Texas. We were started in 2013 as a student chapter at the University of Texas at San Antonio. But 7 years later, we do work in 7 different cities across the state. On 55 campuses, and our goal really is to engage young people in our political process and show them that they can build power. Armando, can you tell us a little bit about Mecca?
Most definitely. So Mecca is also an acronym. It stands for Multicultural Education and Counseling Through the Arts, and it was founded back in 1979 by Alice Valdez. She has been a leader in the nonprofit world sector for about 40 plus years, bringing arts education to children of all ages and adults. We also do support services. We are a United Way agency, and through that, we're able to afford our families, our communities, referrals to other resources that they might need. So we have most recently taken the space also at TBH, and we're providing services at that location as well. People of all ages, once we get through this horrible COVID thing, please come out and see us at either location. Not only do we offer classes, but we also offer performances in the various arts. We have 2 beautiful theater spaces that you can come and enjoy a performance, whether it be music, dance, theater, and we have 2 separate galleries which you can enjoy the arts, the visual arts from artists from the Houston area as well as across the country. So do join us. The first location is at 1900 Kane Street in the old 6th Ward, and TBH is in the east side at Navigation and Jensen. So please join us once we get out of our homes and are released back into the world. Remember that you can complete the census online at my2020census.org or by calling 844-330-2020. So those are the 2 things. Again, you can do it online at my2020census.org or call 844-330-2020. For Spanish, you can call 844-468-2020. Si necesitan apoyo para llenar y completar el censo en español, pueden llamar al número que es 844-468-2020.
And although we can't interact as a community in the ways that we have before, we want to remind everyone that we are indeed still a community. And every 10 years, we are all called on to respond to the census. Lots of folks think that it's just a survey, a count, but it's so much more than that. Getting counted by the census affects a lot of things we depend on, like school programs such as Head Start, federal school lunches and breakfasts, healthcare resourcing and funding, infrastructure like roads and highways, and it affects these things for the next decade. This is particularly important for us right now because a complete and accurate census count supports better funding for disaster and healthcare services. Federal funding that supports meal distribution comes to Houstonians based on census numbers. The more accurate our count, the more food in pantries and delivered to homes. Additionally, federal funding based on census numbers supports Harris County hospitals and can help determine the amount of equipment that is delivered to our region.
Excellent. Thank you, Raven, for sharing the importance. Voy a compartirlo en español un poco para la gente que nos está acompañando que habla o prefiere hablar el español. Sabemos que el censo es súper importante porque así se deciden en el gobierno, al estado, permítanme, al nivel local, al nivel estatal y al nivel federal, cómo nos representan. También sabemos que todos los fondos que el gobierno pone en varias comunidades viene por parte de estos números y saben dónde estamos, saben dónde alocar esos dineros. Nos ayuda con cosas como clínicas, hospitales, para hacer carreteras nuevas. Sí, y también para organizaciones como las de nosotros de fines sin lucro. So, es súper importante que llenen su centro y que sepan dónde estamos y cuántos somos.
Yeah, and depending on the size of your household, it could take you 3 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe 8 or 10. And that just so happens that is the length of the various performances we have for you today. And we have a really cool and great lineup. It's possible that for many of you, this might be your first Zoom call. So if so, don't worry, you're not alone. If you have any issues, please let us know by messaging Houston in Action directly through the chat, which is under this More box. And you can see the chat box and they'll get back to you as soon as possible. So we thank you for your patience as we work through our own technical challenges as well. And if all this goes well, how it should, let us know if you'd like to do something like this again. Armando, would you like to announce our first performer?
Yes, yes, yes. So, solamente voy a repetir lo que dijo Raven en español para la gente que está escuchando en español. Si tienen algún problema con esta nueva tecnología, háganoslo saber aquí al lado derecho está la cajita donde puede dejar su mensaje y nosotros vamos a ver qué es lo que está sucediendo y les podemos ayudar. Es nuevo para muchas personas trabajar así virtualmente, so no tengan miedo, el Zoom no les va a picar, okay? All right, so we're getting ready to start, you guys, and our first amazing performer is the wonderful Vanessa Alonso, and I'm proud to say that she is one of our Mecca alumni. She was with us since she was, I think, 11 or 13, and has been a singing diva ever since. So Vanessa, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the invitation. Houston in Action, Mecca, everyone who suggested I be a part of this. It certainly is a pleasure to at least have a little bit of normalcy, whatever.
Yeah.
So I just start singing.
All right, let's start, Vanna. Hit it.
So this song I chose is called Costumbre because I think it kind of fits what we're going through right now. Because we just want to know what's going on with everybody, right? But in this case, let's see how it goes.
Costumbres by the incredible Juan Gabriel. If you need to find it, you can find that version. There's also a version by La India. There's a version by Vicente Fernandez. There's wonderful versions out there. So you can join Vanessa after this in singing it too.
Yes. Okay, so here we go. Háblame de ti, cuéntame de tu vida. Sabes tú muy bien que yo estoy convencida de que tú no puedes, aunque intentes olvidarme. Siempre volverás una y otra vez, una y otra vez. Siempre volverás, aunque ya no sientas más amor por mí, solo rencor. Yo tampoco tengo nada que sentir y eso es peor. Pero te extraño, Houston, te extraño. no cabe duda que es verdad que la costumbre es más fuerte que el amor. No, no cabe duda que es verdad que la costumbre es más fuerte que el amor. Fill out your census, people. Get into census.
Thank you, Vanessa. That was amazing, as always. Of course, I didn't expect anything less. You guys, Vanessa, tell us if you have somewhere that people can follow you. Do you have a Facebook page that you'd like to follow, an Instagram?
Yes, you can follow me on a Facebook, like a music page that I have under Vanessa Artista. So that's arroba or at Vanessa, VANESSARTISTA.
I like how you did that, Vanessa Artista. All right, the artist.
I don't know why. I just want to recycle letters, like save them. More compact.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. And if you want to learn more about Mecca and where she came from with all that talent, you can visit www.meca-houston.org or hyphen for those of you grammar folks, okay? All right.
Yes, Vanessa, that was amazing. And if you're just tuning in, it's Arts Afternoon with Move Texas, Mecca Houston, and Houston in Action. Between performances today, we're going to be talking about the 2020 census. If you have not completed yours yet, go to my2020census.gov and get on it.
Excellent. You guys, so today we have a diverse set of performances, which really reflects what our community looks like. And so the census is just one way that we know our community is diverse because of the numbers that people report, and those responses inform the way that public information gets out. It paints a picture that's used to create culturally competent solutions for community services and disaster responses. This is just one more reason why we need to make sure everyone is counted. Again, you can go to my2020census.gov and do that today if you haven't done so already. All right, tú cuentas, tu familia cuenta, yo cuento. All right, let's do it. All right, so speaking of cuentos, next we have un cuento en español leído por Chris Valdez. Listo, Chris? Drum roll.
Hello, thank you. Thank you to Mecca Houston for making this possible, to Move Texas, to Houston in Action. I was going back and forth whether to read this in English or sorry, in Spanish. That's what it's originally written in, or a translation. But I'm going to go with Spanish, and bear with me because it's not my first language, and so it's sometimes tricky. Some of the words get tricky for me, but the message is still there, and I hope it comes across for those who speak Spanish. The poem that I'm going to read today is by Eduardo Galeano. He's from Uruguay. It is called La Utopia. I felt it was kind of an appropriate thing to reflect on the moment that we're in. ¿Qué tal si dilargamos por un ratito? ¿Qué tal si clavamos los ojos más allá de la infamia para adivinar otro mundo posible? El aire estará limpio de todo veneno que no provenga de los miedos humanos y de las humanas pasiones. En las calles, los automóviles serán aplastados por los perros. La gente no será manejada por el automóvil, ni será programada por el ordenador, ni será comprada por el supermercado, ni será tampoco mirada por el televisor. El televisor dejará ser el miembro más importante de la familia y será tratado como la plancha o la lavarropas. Se incorporará a los códigos penales el delito de estupidez que cometen quienes viven por tener o por ganar, en vez de vivir por vivir nomás. ¿Cómo canta el pájaro sin saber que canta? ¿Y cómo juega el niño sin saber que juega? En ningún país irán presos los muchachos que se nieguen a cumplir el servicio, sino los que quieran cumplirlo. Nadie vivirá para trabajar, pero todos trabajaremos para vivir. Las economistas no llamarán nivel de vida al nivel de consumo, y llamarán calidad de vida a la cantidad de cosas. Los cocineros no creerán que a las langostas les encanta las hiervan vivas, que las hiervan vivas. Los historiadores no creerán que a los países les encanta ser invadidos. Los políticos no creerán que a los pobres les encanta comer promesas. La solemnidad dejará de creer que es una virtud y nadie tomará en serio a nadie que no sea capaz de tomarse el pelo. La muerte y el dinero perderán sus mágicos poderes, y ni por disfunción ni por fortuna se convertirá el canalla en virtuoso caballero. La comida no será una mercancía, ni la comunicación un negocio, porque la comida y la comunicación son derechos humanos. Nadie morirá de hambre, porque nadie morirá de indigestión. Los niños de la calle no serán tratados como si fueran basura, porque no habrá niños de la calle. Los niños ricos no serán tratados como si fueran dinero, porque no habrá niños ricos. La educación no será el privilegio de quienes puedan pagarla, y la policía no será la maldición de quienes no puedan comprarla. La justicia y la libertad, hermanas siamesas condenadas a vivir separadas, volverán a juntarse bien pegaditas espalda contra espalda. En Argentina, las locas de Plaza de Mayo serán un ejemplo de salud mental, porque ellas se negaron a olvidar en los tiempos de la amnesia obligatoria. La Santa Madre Iglesia corregirá algunas erratas de las tablas de Moisés, y el sexto mandamiento ordenará festejar el cuerpo. La Iglesia dictará también otro mandamiento que se le había olvidado a Dios: amarás a la naturaleza de la que formas parte. Serán reforestados los desiertos del mundo, y los desiertos del alma, los desesperados serán esperados, y los perdidos serán encontrados, porque ellos se desesperarán de tanto esperar, y ellos se perdieron por tanto buscar. Seremos compatriotas y contemporáneos de todos los que tengan voluntad de belleza y voluntad de justicia. Hayan nacido cuando hayan nacido, y hayan vivido donde hayan vivido. Sí que importan ni un poquito las fronteras del mapa ni del tiempo. Seremos imperfectos, porque la perfección seguirá siendo el aburrido privilegio de los dioses. Pero en este mundo chambón y jodido, seremos capaces de vivir cada día como si fuera el primero, y cada noche como si fuera la última. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. So I have a question. So how did you select that story to read today?
Oh gosh, I think it was just the moment we're in. Like, everything is changing, and everything is like in many ways feels like it's being reset and being reconsidered. And so the idea of utopia has like a new context, I think, for us in this moment. So it felt like a good reflection.
Great. Thank you for coming on here today and sharing with us.
Thanks for having me.
In addition to, funding and infrastructure, the census also is critical in ensuring that individuals have representatives who actually reflect their interests when legislative and congressional districts are drawn. And I think it's really important to mention that. But we're going to go ahead and switch it up a bit and bring in some movement, because ultimately completing the census is about taking action. We need each household to act and make sure that everyone who lives there, whether they are family or not, is counted. If you haven't already completed your census, please visit my2020census.gov. It's easy and pretty quick. That said, you may want to wait until after this next performance.
Bueno, un poquito en español también, para los que están escuchando en español. Tenemos que estar seguros que toda persona en cada casa sea contada. Si seas familia o no, tienes que ser contada. Sabemos que en veces hay situaciones donde vivimos con amigos o algún primo, alguien que no es primo, que viene, que es de donde sea, pero cada persona tiene que ser contada. Ahora vamos a seguir con un poco de movimiento, my favorite, right? The moving, the dancing. Sherry Paola and Canadas Molina, and the work is metas exitosas or successful goals. So, Sherry?
Yeah.
Yay. You're on mute, Sherry.
¿Me escuchan? Hola, mucho gusto. Mi nombre es Sherry. Aquí presente mi hermana, que estamos juntas en estas actividades que siempre hacemos. Mi nombre es Pamela, ella es Sherry. Somos parte de una actividad física. Tratamos de la mejor manera de, más que todo en estos momentos, de enseñarle a la gente que puede hacer ejercicio en su casa y que al pasar esta tempestad que estamos viviendo también lo puede hacer con nosotras. Somos un club de actividad física. Vamos a mostrarles un par de nuestras rutinas para que pues ustedes nos observen y compartirlo también con las demás personas. ¿Empezamos? Creo que sí.
Y qué padre las luces que tienen también, qué bonito. Para realmente animarnos, es todo. Listos. No se escucha, Sherry. Está el micrófono.
¿Está bien así?
Ahora sí, ahora sí. Sí.
Compartan.
Muy bien, muy bien. Gracias, Sherry y Pamela. ¿Nos quieren avisar dónde puede la gente seguirlos si tienen más videos así o más información sobre el club?
De Facebook nos pueden encontrar como Metas Exitosas. También tenemos un número de teléfono que pueden comunicarnos para darles los nombres de las páginas o mensajes privados. Es el 443-979-5959.
Perfecto, muchas gracias. Thank you, guys. We threw the number in there. You can call them at that number for even classes. They can be private classes for you too. You can also check them out on their Facebook page at Metas Exitosas. Muchas gracias. Por eso están guapas con tanta young.
Yes, thank you. That was amazing. We definitely need to bring them back for a longer session or workout session during the day to keep us moving. But we're going to continue, and we're going to take our actions and turn them into words, because after all, a lot can be accomplished through speaking. So if you find that you are having trouble completing your census, stuck on a question, or just need some moral support, you can call the Census Bureau at 844-330-2020 for English. I'll say that again. That's 844-330-2020 for English. And then for Spanish, 844-468-2020. 844-468-2020 for Spanish. And make sure that your household gets counted. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Arts Afternoon with Mecca Houston, Move Texas, and Houston in Action. Move Texas is a nonpartisan nonprofit organization making sure that we give young people a voice in our democracy. Armando, can you tell them a little bit about Mecca Houston?
Most definitely. Mecca stands for Multicultural Education and Counseling Through the Arts. And for over 40 years, we've been delivering arts education to children of all ages throughout the city of Houston. We have programs at our center, as well as the different schools throughout the various districts within our area. Let's see. So going back, para la gente que necesita apoyo con su censo, si no lo han llenado todavía, lo pueden llenar todavía en línea, yendo al MY2020censo.org. Si necesitan apoyo por teléfono, pueden llamar al 844-468-2020. Y ahora es tiempo de tomar nuestras acciones y ponerlas en forma de palabra, llenando ese censo, y háganse contar. Dr. Raven.
Great. And you might be wondering why the census. It's not just a questionnaire, but it is really the census is very important for moments like the one that we're in right now in light of COVID-19. A complete and accurate census supports better funding for disaster and healthcare services. Also, federal funding supports meal distribution that comes to Houstonians that is based on census numbers. The more accurate our count, the more food in pantries that's delivered to homes. Federal funding is based on census numbers, also supports Harris County hospitals, and can help determine the amount of equipment that is delivered to our region. And that's just some of the reasons of why the census is important. Thanks for sticking with us. Armando, who do we have for our next artist?
All right, next up, Daniel Mesa, spoken word from our friends at Baker Ripley. The work is entitled No Joke. Nuestro amigo Daniel Mesa de Baker Ripley.
Hello, test. 1, 2. Listo. Bueno, muchas gracias por la invitación. Thank you so much for the invitation. Shout out Spring, Texas. Shout out Houston, Texas. Shout out Costa Rica. Shout out El Salvador. All right, let's get into it. So my piece is called No Joke. All righty. The census doesn't matter. April Fools, the census is no joke. Don't want my community to be broke, powerless, unless we exercise our power. Pero ¿para qué? ¿Y para quién? Bueno, vas a ver. Todos que viven en este país tienen raíz en otros. Tenemos que pensar en otros. Se llama compasión. Virus aterrizando en esta nación, terrorizing us, but we won't capitulate or run. Condolences to those that have lost one or a few. New challenges bringing out new Samaritans. I assure thee, these times require assiduity, still fighting for freedom for those in penitentiary, paying penitence for fleeing a bad situation, the exact same anyone else would do given the same circumstances. I take a stance and some chances. I hope for the best, but take whatever comes as the best of all possible outcomes, since I cannot control what befalls, only how I evolve. Peace. Thank you.
Can we give some snaps?
What's up? That's what's
That
up.
was amazing.
No
Thank
joke.
you, Daniel. So how can people find out more about your work and also find out about Baker Ripley?
About me personally, I'm a little in the underground, so I'm an aspiring artist. Still kind of trying to make my name out there, and I believe one of my mentors is on here also. Shout out to Tony Diaz. He's got me started, and so I took his Mexican American literature class, and he asked me, "Are you a writer or a reader?" And I said, "Well, I love to read and I like to write, but I never considered myself a writer until he asked me that question." So my Instagram is uncanny_Danny. So follow me there. I'll be posting some music pretty soon. And in terms of my organization, Baker Ripley, you can find us on Facebook. We have 6 community centers. We're on Baker Ripley. If you type in Baker Ripley, the main page will come out, or any of the community centers. So I definitely recommend y'all to check it out. We just made a video yesterday with a short tutorial of how to fill out the census online. That video is bilingual. And like I said, you know, we're here for the community. Baker Ripley does a lot of work in the community. So if you want to find out more, check us out online. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. So, si alguien no ha completado su censo, como lo pueden hacer, my2020census.gov. Ese es MY2020CENSUS.gov. All right, so todavía tienen tiempo. Cuando te metes a la página, hay que seleccionar español, porque al primero ingresar a la página está en inglés, pero si busca hacia arriba, arriba está donde puede cambiar el idioma para que esté en español. Y recuerden que tienen ese número para, si necesitan ayuda en español, apoyo en español, pueden llamar al 844-468-2020 para apoyo en español. Miss Raven.
Here to help us with that, we have Melissa, who is going to show us how to make mini moving pictures.
Ooh.
Okay, thank you, Raven. Thank you, Armando. I am Melissa. I'm a visual artist, and today I'm going to do a quick demo on how you take 2 small pictures. Here's one, and with rapid movement, create the illusion of a single image. The supplies you're going to need are pretty simple. You need some stiff paper. I like to use old manila folders that would otherwise be thrown away. Note cards are also good. Pair of scissors to cut out the shapes and also to make little holes. If you have a hole puncher, that works fine as well. To draw your images, you're going to want pens, pencils, colored pencils, whichever. And last but not least, rubber bands or yarn. So the first step is to think of an image that you want to communicate. And since our theme today is the census, we can think of census-related pictures and concepts. Like Armando and Raven have been saying, the census is critical. It's where we get most of our, a large part of our federal funding for healthcare, transportation, education, and it only happens once every 10 years. So participating in 2010 is huge. For healthcare, we could think of maybe a doctor and wearing a stethoscope, or a plate that has healthy dishes, healthy food stuff on it. For education, a teacher and her classroom, his classroom, maybe a book bag full of supplies. You could keep going. Transportation, a intersection with stop signs, or a bike path through a park. Really, use any of these ideas or come up with your own. So once you get your supplies together, you're going to cut out a small circle from your stiff paper, like so. Then you're going to punch holes on either side of it, and you want those holes to be even. You're going to draw one image on one side and hold it up to a light source, like a lamp you have turned on, or maybe a window, because the placement of the second image will make a difference. Here's an example. I wanted to draw a guy riding a bicycle. So I have a bike here, and on the other side, you have the cyclist. When we spin it quickly, you can see that he went from being a speed cyclist to a stuntman, because he's facing the opposite direction. But just experiment. Here's another one where we have a snake. He's got a rattler at the end and his head at the top. And we're gonna add his tongue, but it's on the opposite side of where his head is. Play around with these and you'll get the hang of it. So you've got your paper, you've cut out the shape, you've drawn an image. The next step is to string it. And you can use either a rubber band. You want to tie the knots nice and tight, or you can use yarn or string. That works well too. So the word thaumatrope, by the way, comes from the Greek. Thaumot means miracle or magical wonder, and tropikos means spin or turn. So it's like a magical image that appears through turning. There we go, nice and tight. And here we go. Here we have a girl jumping rope. On the back, notice the rope is not under her knees, but is above her head. And you tropikos, or spin, and the illusion is created. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Awesome. That was great, Melissa. So tell us, I know we put it in the comments there, but just share with everybody. I see that you're joining us from Newark, New Jersey. That's awesome. Excellent.
Yeah.
So please tell people where they can find out more about Melissa and how to get your amazing work too.
Oh, thanks. So I have artwork on Instagram at m.advents.com, at m.advents for Instagram, and also online at megerecci.com, megerecci.com. And I'm very happy to be joining everybody. I grew up in Alief, so my heart is in Houston, and I am so excited for all the good work being done.
All right, Melissa, you're gonna have to come back and visit us when all this mess is over, okay?
You bet.
All right, you guys. So we're if you're just now tuning in, if you're just now joining, si apenas van ingresando a la página con nosotros, estamos hoy celebrando el censo, promoviendo el censo que lo llenen. We're working on letting people know that it's time to turn in that census, fill it in, fill it out. We are here with Mecca Houston. We are here with Move, and we are here with our friends in Houston in Action Partners. So yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. And we're going to transition a bit, Raven.
Next up, like Armando said, we're going to transition back to lyrics as Luke Harrinan shares inspirational songs with us entitled Spacer Rain.
Hey, thanks. I'm early. Hard to follow all those talented people, but I'll do my best. All right, everybody hear me? Good? We good? This is a song I wrote after the tax day floods in 2016. Everybody remembers those. Rain all day long, but I stood there in silence. I watched the water run up the road, but I kept quiet. The sky, it gave and gave, enough for 40 days. In a few hours, everything changed. The rain, it covered the window. I began to swim. Who can say how bad a shape I'm in? Water came over the door sill and the house began to give. You can float on anything if you want. Water up to my eyes. I swam, my mouth was dry. gone, the roof's run out of sky. I thought I would die. The bayou's past its banks, the river's all broke ranks. I asked the birds to give my thanks. The rain, it covered the window. I began to swim. Who can say how bad a shape I'm in? The water comes over the doorsill and my house begins to give. You can float on anything if you want. Though the sun has been gone for weeks, it ain't never too dark to sing. And though you might be drowning, your lungs are still half empty. The rain, it covers the window. You know it's time to swim. Who can say how bad a shape you're in? The water comes over the doorsill and the house begins to give. You can float on anything if you want to live. I want to live. I want to live. I want to live. I want to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you very much. I feel like I should have been named Luke. I know a lot of amazing singers and performers named Luke. Luke Bryan, Luke Combs. Now, Luke.
Yeah, I don't know if I can be in that league, but I'm doing my best.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. Tell us where we can find more about you.
So I have a Facebook page for my band. It's called Spacer. And if you just Facebook search Spacer the band, you can find us. We usually do, I guess, more like rock and roll stuff, but these days we can't really play out. So, you know, I'm just doing stuff like this. And as an aside, Armando, when you were talking earlier, I actually filled out the census online. Awesome. Like I went and did it. So it's super easy. Everybody should do it.
Luke, how long did it take you to fill it out?
Literally like 4 minutes. Like you were talking and I watched the performance, and the next time you were talking, like I finished.
You were done.
It was not bad.
Awesome. So if you're just now joining us, we're here with Mecca Houston and Move Texas and our friends at Houston in Action. It's important that everyone watching understands that we are not part of the Census Bureau. We're simply advocating that you fill it out because of the importance. So it's super important. We are not the Census Bureau. But if you do need their support, you can visit the website or call 844-468-2020 for support in Spanish. And if you need help in English with your or just moral support, you can call 844-330-2020. So again, as Luke was telling us, it's not that difficult. It should take a few minutes. You definitely don't want people coming to your house. We had this discussion yesterday. If you don't do it online and if you don't do it on the phone, they're going to come a knocking. And you definitely don't want that, right? Well, I don't anyway. Because I feel like I have to have coffee for them and all sorts of stuff, and we don't want to do it. So just do it online. It's really easy. All right, you guys, we're getting ready to, actually, let me tell you about MECA for those of you who just joined. MECA stands for Multicultural Education and Counseling Through the Arts. And since the mid-70s, we've been working with children as early as 5, using the arts as a tool to promote higher education. So the great thing is that we can follow these kids from elementary through middle school to high school and on to college. And I've been with the organization since 1991 as a student. After leaving MECA, I graduated from high school for performing arts, and because of MECA, I went to Southern Methodist on full scholarship. And now I'm back working with the organization, kind of full circle for me, and it's awesome. Come and check us out when we are back and free to get out on the road. And now our friend Raven is going to tell us about Move Texas and the great work that they do.
Thanks, Armando. MOVE is an acronym, and it stands for Mobilize, Organize, Vote, and Empower. And we are a grassroots, nonpartisan, nonprofit organization working to build power in youth communities all across the state. So not only do we get young people registered to vote and help them cast their vote in elections, but we talk to them about really important issues like the census, like redistricting, like paid sick time, things like that. I also have a similar full circle story with MOVE as well. I had the opportunity to be a field organizing fellow with them in 2016 in college, and I'm really excited to be back with MOVE and seeing all the growth that's happening across Texas.
Excellent, excellent. You guys, so we had one person that wasn't able to join us, so we're a little bit ahead of time. But so what I'm going to do, because I've been sitting, for 45 minutes now, if you'd like to join me, I'm going to stand up a little bit and stretch. I am a dancer by trade, by profession. And so I'm going to sit back in my chair. I often teach a class, a sit and fit class, if you will. So I'm going to sit at the edge of my chair, and I'm simply going to do, taking my right arm, and I'm going to just lift it up overhead as far as I can. That middle finger, I'm really reaching out with the top of that finger, and I want to feel like I have a light out of my armpit reaching. It's like what do you call that, fog lamp for the ships? Help me out. Yeah, that one. So really reach, and then just drop it down by your side. Good. Let gravity take it all the way. Just let it drop. Left side, same thing. Stretch that middle finger up, light, and release. Both times, both arms, and up, reach, and drop. Same thing, right arm. I'm going to pull the left elbow across the back. I'm pulling it with the left arm. And again, I'm still thinking about that armpit and the light really stretching out, really pull. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in. As I exhale, I'm going to bend to the left with that elbow where it's going. And release back to the center and drop other side. Arm up. Overhead, right arm pulls. Pull as much as you can. And inhale. Exhale to the right. Oh, yay. Good. And back to the center. And release. Good. I'm already feeling warm. I don't know about you guys. So I'm going to start looking to the right on 1. And left on 2, right on 3, left on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but I'm gonna do a little bit quicker. Then we're gonna go up and down. 1, 2, 8 of those. So right and left 8 times, up and down 8 times. I'm gonna start a circle to the right, taking my chin to my chest, following the top of the head to the side, back, left, in 4 beats, and then 4 beats to the left. Yeah, here we go. 5 and 6, and ready, right to left. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 6, and 7, up and down. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and circle right. 1, 2, 4, and a 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, all right. Little shoulder roll, little shoulder bounce. 8. So we're going to take it forward, up, back, and around. 8 backwards, then reverse it. Back, up, forward, down. Yeah? And then we're going to take the right ear to the right shoulder, left ear to the left shoulder. You'll feel a nice stretch down both sides, yeah? Here we go, shoulder rolls, 5 and 6, and to the back, and 1, 2, and 2, 2, and 3, 2, and 4, 2, and 5, 2, and 6, 2, and 7, to reverse the circle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right ear, right shoulder, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and left, 2, 3, again, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and left, 2, 3, 4, and center. Good. Now, this is going to be a fun one. I'm taking my hands and I'm pressing onto my thighs, and I'm going to push myself to the edge of the chair as if I'm going to stand up. So I'm engaging my abdominals, I'm engaging my legs, I'm engaging my lats, everything. I'm engaging my biceps because I'm pushing down, and my triceps, I'm pushing down on my leg. I'm not going to stand up, but I'm just going to pretend I'm going to stand up so I can engage the entire body and get it all working together. Here we go. And press, lift, away. And relax back down. Good. And again, and up. And down. You can see me tremble a little bit because I'm actually really pushing down on my legs. And up. And lower. Last time. Reach. Good. And now I'm actually going to stand up. Ready? I'm going to stand up. I'm going to combine the hands that I had earlier. These could eventually turn into those burpee things where you jump and sit. Yeah, but really use your chair. Find your chair. Find your center. Find that core. Here we go. Stand and lift. And sit, and stand and lift, and sit, and stand and lift, and sit, stand and lift, and sit. Very nice. Ooh, y'all, eyes are sweating. All right, let's see. I think Mr. Lopez, if you're just tuning in again, my name is Armando Silva, and I am with Mecca Houston. And our friend Raven is here from Move, Texas, and our partners at Houston in Action. So today is just a fun arts afternoon. Since we can't really be together in the space, we're going to be together virtually, talking and sharing one another's talents. Raven, would you tell us a little bit about Move Texas again for those that are just now joining in?
Yeah, Move Texas is a nonprofit that works with young Texans all across the state to get them engaged in our political process.
Excellent. All right. And so Mecca is arts education for children and adults of all ages. All right, Mr. Lopez is our next. Mecca has had the wonderful work of promoting mostly the Latino culture. We are responsible for a lot of the mariachi programs that you see throughout the city of Houston. Back in 1993, we had a man by the name of Mr. Guerra, Alfonso Guerra, who started the Mecca Mariachi. They were in elementary, and that's who you heard earlier. Vanessa started with the mariachi. Since then, we've started programs at many of the schools. Actually, the High School for Performing Arts, we started their mariachi program. Also with the mariachi, we have a ballet folclórico, which is the Mexican folk dance. And that's what we're going to see next with Maestro Lopez. He should be ready. Listo, Maestro. All right, vamos. So this is Julio Lopez with the Mecca Ballet Folclórico and two of his students performing for us. Our friends at Houston in Action, can you hook it up so we can see them? Did we lose support? I tired them out with the exercising with the chair. Ahí está el Maestro Lopez. All right, here we go. El sonido, maestro. El micrófono.
Oh, micrófono.
Ahí está, ahora sí, listo.
Okay. Bueno, vamos a presentarles a ustedes el día de hoy dos números de Chihuahua, del estado de Chihuahua, con dos de nuestros alumnos avanzados, y espero que les guste. Y bueno, recuerden de ir al censo. Vámonos, compadrito, échale.
We got one more, you guys.
Vamos a presentar uno más. ¿Cómo se llama, compadre? ¿Cómo se llama? La loca. Échale. ¡Vámonos!
Thank you, dancers. Gracias, maestro. They are joining us from the Mecca Folklorico studio. Thank you guys so much, dancers. You were awesome. They were doing 2 dances from the Mexican state of Chihuahua. Thank you, guys. We should be practicing more social distancing, but that's okay. All right. So yes, they are coming to us live from the Mecca Folklorico studio in the old 6th Ward at Mecca, Houston. Ms. Raven.
If you are just joining us, this is Arts Afternoon with Move Texas, Mecca Houston, and Houston in Action. If you didn't know about Houston in Action, it is a group of organizations working to make sure that things like voting, volunteerism, running for office, charitable giving, and more accessible options for people here in Houston and Harris County who are interested in taking these steps to engage with their communities or government. You can learn more about Houston in Action by visiting houstoninaction.org. And you can complete your census right now by visiting my2020census.gov. Next, we're going to have Tony Diaz read us his essay titled Cultural Capital Through the Census.
How are you? Hey, thanks for having me. ¿Cómo están? Really appreciate being here with everybody adapting to the situation. And I've adapted an essay that I originally wrote, part of my Cultural Capital series, mostly to talk about the importance of the actual act. It's actually titled Poetry Doesn't Make Money. And I'll read a little bit of it to you and then also shift into the update. But poetry doesn't make money. That sentence is intended to sentence our senses to sense, yet we hear it all the time. I aim to write about cultural capital to defy sentences like this, because here's the truth. Poetry does not create direct capital, but poetry creates a gold mine of cultural capital, and our community thrives on it. Will not be kept from it, but our community needs to profoundly understand the power of cultural capital, and they must know that others actively attempt to make us relinquish our voice. At the most basic level, teachers, parents, and even editors tell potential poets and writers that poetry doesn't make money, as if they're repeating a universal truth. Most folks might consider this a harmless statement. The harmful part is that it's a stereotype that has gained traction and is repeated more often than poems are probably read. Poetry doesn't make money becomes a brilliant advertising campaign. The result is that our community is sentenced to a reality where poetry doesn't matter because evidently we don't have enough money to enjoy it. At the very least, repeating poetry does not make money might persuade a young person not to read poetry, a college student to reject his or her dream of choosing a major in literature or humanities, or an editor not to publish a collection of poems. Folks then assume that our community doesn't care about poetry or literature. Mind-altering poetry and prose reveal to us what's missing, and then we write about what we see in our minds, and we dispel that myth that poetry doesn't pay because we're living proof that poetry creates cultural capital. If we invest that cultural capital in our community, we're poised to accelerate it for the good of not just our community, but for humanity. And that's really what's at stake. If our voices don't matter, then you gotta believe our bodies matter. We're actually at the table because we count. We're at the table not for our intellect, for our sheer number. When people say that Houston's 45% Latino, that has brought us to the table. Then they might start imagining us as intellectuals. Now, here's the issue though. If we don't actually report for duty, we won't be literally counted. And that has ramifications after ramifications after ramifications. And then we can't argue that we're not being represented because they don't have the proof. Now, this is kind of heavy duty. I do want to leave on a more upbeat note and make it a little bit competitive here, because we do count up to now. I think we've been undercounted though. Right now, it's quantified that Latinos are 45% of the Houston population. I think it's more. If we do not show up, if you do not fill that out, which I have, if you don't tell your neighbors to do it, we're gonna be undercounted again. I think we're over 50%. Now, to add a little competition to this, of course, the majority of the population is Mexican or Mexican-American and the Latino family tree. According to the last census 10 years ago, 710,000 Houstonians were Mexican or Mexican-American. That means that 1 in every 3 Houstonians, as of 2010, is either Mexican or Mexican-American. And I'm saying this because the other numbers showed that, for example, there were only 834 Chileans. I was talking to the Chilean council. They think there's about 15,000. So that's an undercount. Additionally, I gotta believe that there's more than 784 Costa Ricans. On this new census, I actually could fill in Mexican-American and Chicano. It doesn't say how many Chicanos there are. We're gonna find out now. You can actually be very specific too. So you can go in and put that you are Chilean Chicano. And also, you know, I wanna see how many Salvadorans there are. In the last census, it said there were only 88,000. I think there's more. Guatemalans, 26,000. I think there's more. The other issue too is that when you get to the boxes, it makes you think about how you do self-identify. But again, that's our basic cultural capital. Every story we tell, every network we have, and when we stand up for ourselves, that is us making a mark in society that we have to do together. So I'm hoping that we can inspire you to do that. I know the people watching are gonna do it, but really what you've gotta do is go back to your communities and friends and make sure that they do as well. So I'm happy to be involved, looking forward to looking at these results and looking forward to making sure that we can change Houston through art.
Thank you so much, Tony. And I could not agree with you more. You know, we always talk about in Houston how diverse our community is, but it's really important to know what the ethnicity is, what those demographics are, so we know whose voices should be at the table. So how can people who are listening in on Facebook or on this Zoom call, how can they keep up with some of your writings? And I also saw that you have a radio show.
Yes, well, we're actually KPFT is practicing social distancing, so right now we're on reruns. We're going to be doing our own Zoom tape shows coming up. So we air on 90.1 FM KPFT twice on Tuesdays. We do Latino politics and news, so we're going to have some folks who are working on Census Outreach. We'll have them on there. So we're on with Latino politics and news every Tuesday at 2 p.m. live, and then also every Tuesday at 6 p.m. with Nuestra Palabra, Latino writers having their say. And then, of course, I also blog about some of these issues. If you go to TonyDiaz.net, I write a lot about cultural capital. But I do want to say that that's another thing too. If we don't get these stories out, if you don't come together and do Zoom live now and spread the word, no one tells these stories. So it is powerful for us to do that. And I think that is key, that other people then will hear the message and keep inspiring each other to do it. So thank you for all that you're doing too.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you so
for the
much.
work that you've been doing and that you keep doing. We're obviously going to support you as much as we can and share with our networks all about Tony Diaz and the work that he's doing in our communities. So if you are just now joining us, si apenas están ingresando a nuestra sesión ahora, estamos en vivo con nuestros amigos de Houston in Action, el iniciativo que organiza varios grupos culturales para diferentes acciones importantes de nuestras comunidades como el censo, que es lo que estamos platicando hoy. So, si necesitan apoyo ustedes para llenar su censo, pueden recurrir a los teléfonos que ya hemos mostrado aquí. Y para llenarlo súper fácil, se tardan, si acaso, entre 5 o 15 minutos, depende cuántas personas estén en su casa. Y recuerden que es importante contar a cada persona, ya sea familiar o no, pero tiene que contar a cada persona. Tiene tiempo, si no lo llena en línea, lo puede llenar por teléfono. So, si necesita ayuda, nos puede llamar aquí a nosotros, a Houston in Action, y también a Mecca y a Move Texas nos pueden ayudar. So, thank you for joining us. If you're just coming in, we are working our Arts Saturday with our friends from Houston in Action and Move Texas and Mecca TVH. So, thank you. We're going to move on, you guys. I believe that next we have our dearest Karen Martinez with a film short, Finding Meaning in the Desert, right? I'm glad I said that right. I was gonna say dessert.
Hi, everybody. So I'm going to be showing you a video that I produced when I was in Marfa, Texas, as part of an artist residency with the University of Houston and the Knott School of Art. And so most of my work deals with belonging, not feeling like you don't belong, not belonging, wanting to belong, just like all ideas around the desire of wanting to or being part of something. So yeah, without further ado, and it's good to see everybody. Thank you for reaching out, for the opportunity to continue to create community.
Not to make it all about Mecca, but Karen is one of my former dance students and she prepares her videos, so I'm super proud to see her and all the work she does.
Forget. Love, I thrive. For love, I suffer.
All right.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Karen. So where are you joining us from in Harris County?
So I'm in Houston, pretty much. Yeah.
Great. So where can we keep up with, see more of your short films or keep up with your work?
So you can visit, right now I'm working on my website, but you can go to my Instagram where I post mostly just pictures, discoveries, reactions, opinions, tons of them, and it will be at Selva Fertil. I can go ahead and type that on the chat.
Okay, great. And if you guys are on social media, make sure that you tweet or Instagram and remind people to take the census. Be sure to use hashtag yes to the census and hashtag HTownCounts. Thank you so much, Karen.
You want to belong, right?
Definitely.
Right.
It's so great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, one of our Mecca babies. She's not a baby anymore, obviously, but I'm super proud of the work that you continue to do, Karen. So besitos a ti and to your mom and your sisters. Her whole family was at Mecca, you guys. That's the beautiful thing about the work that we do at Mecca, that it really is about community. So we're not just working with one child, but we work with the entire family. If you're just now joining us, we are hosting our Arts Saturday with our friends from Houston in Action, Move Texas, and Mecca Houston. Let's see. Yes. Houston in Action is a group of organizations working to make sure that things like voting, volunteerism, running for office, charitable giving are more accessible options for people here in Houston and Harris County who are interested in taking these steps to engage with their communities or governments. You can learn more about Houston in Action by visiting houstoninaction.org, and you can complete your census right now by visiting my2020census.gov. Go. All right. So I believe we have Mr. De La Parra on, who will also be presenting a short film. Yes?
Yes.
Excellent.
Hi.
Hey.
Thank you, Armando. Thank you, Mario, for inviting me earlier this week. I'd like to give a big shout out to everyone who's joining in right now on the conference. And if you're online, make sure you share this to everyone and let them know that it's important that you fill out those census. We've been talking about it and I've been listening to everyone, and more than likely everyone's already come up to point that it's great for older people and low-income populations, helping with Medicare, Medicaid, supplemental nutritional assistance programs like SNAP, also great for college students with federal Pell Grants, career and technical education grants, and of course adult education grants, and for kids, that they're going to start to school and everything. So again, I'd like to thank everyone for allowing me to join and sharing this piece. I'm a multimedia artist here in Houston, Texas. I have a studio in Winter Street Studios. I've been there for the last 5 years with my twin brother, where we both collectively work together in creating a variety of multimedia art, from film to radio programs to photography to script writing. I have a background in film and filmmaking as well. I also am friends with and co-producers at KPFT 90.1 with Mr. Diaz. Only our program is on Friday nights. Right now we're on hiatus, but you can always catch us on Friday nights at KPFT 90.1. We kick off the weekend right at 11 all the way to about 3 a.m. with Rebel Radio with Joe B. And then we continue with friends throughout the night from 3 to 5 a.m. at Casa de Casa. So it's like a huge party on Friday nights from 11 to 5 a.m. There's tons of DJs that come across and just kind of participate with world music. So within that tone, we also created a video program on Thursday nights, which showcases DJs, musicians, any local acts and it's kind of a dance show, so to speak, mainly just listening to the music and the mix. And that's also on Thursday nights, every Thursday night. Right now we're running a lot of reruns again. So this is a new piece that has not been showcased. So I want to go ahead and tell you a little bit about it. It's actually a program called See It Live, and it's shot live via the internet. It's broadcasted via the internet. It's a 6-camera setup, so anywhere from 6 to 5 camera setup, just depending on the night. And we have a 2-hour program shot live, and it's free for the public, and it's shot on site on our studio over at Winter Street Studios. And this is a little piece of it. Let me see if I can share it with you guys now.
Don't sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique.
Yes, 1, 2, this is yours. We're going to go ahead and take a quick pause in music to make sure that you know that we have sponsors. So I'd like to give a shout out to our first sponsor, right? Mr. Snaros, right? She gave Shop Local. We give a shout out to Shop Local, who provided the brouhaha tonight. Big shout out to Bohemian Photography, of course, for taking care of this awesome production. Big shout out to everyone listening all over the internet right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you're online, we're live, and you're listening to us worldwide here with the Rebel Crew. I'm your host, Arturo de la Parra, with my twin brother out here in the back hanging out. The best half of those twins is that way. I'm just the second cool half hanging out. So Joe, are you excited to have our guest coming up?
Yes, sir. I'll tell you a little something about how she got here. I was teaching a class at a Curfew, which is a youth advocates program, back in, I guess, a year ago. And she was one of my students, right? I had like three students, and we were teaching Ableton Live from scratch, you know, from the play button to the sequence to the loop in. And she was in the class, and so I just asked, you know, you have plans on, you know, making beats and making music? She said, yeah, I wanted to learn some stuff. And I just, you know, was being nice. I said, well, do you have songs? You write lyrics? She goes, yeah, I'll write some. I got some songs. I'll send you a link. I said, okay, you know. And I'm real hesitant to, you know, push your link because, you know, that's one of my things as a producer. I got to be honest, you know, because I can't be, saying, oh, it's cool if it ain't cool. But, she was very, starting from scratch, so, I wouldn't really expect much. But, yeah. So I cooked on it, and I was like, damn, she's like a genius. Like, she's a badass songwriter. So she was like taking steps back to learn the production of it, but she was a songwriter, a singer-songwriter, which is really, kind of apples and oranges from production and songwriting. So anyways, so since then, she's been working on music and completed an album, and she's been doing fundraisers, to get it going. So we're all behind her 100%.
And that's what I like to hear, when you find raw, clean talent here in Houston, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to get back into it. I'm your host, Arturo La Parra. I'm here with Joe B. Easy on the cut. Big shout out to Bohemian Photography, our sponsors for tonight, and C7. I want to give a big shout out also to the listeners one more time that are watching this live feed online through the Bohemian Photography. Go ahead and press that like right here and make sure that you follow us every Thursday. Also got some art hanging out in downtown at the 100 block. Start over at 110 Main Street and hang out at Lillian Bloom and look up, and you'll see a lot of art provided by, of course, Joe B, myself, Arturo, and my brother Gerardo, those twins. So make sure you go and hang out. What do you say, Joe? Can we get into this? Let's get it
Everybody's Everybody run, run, run. Everybody's scatter. Everybody run, run, run. Everybody's.
All right, you guys, that was awesome. Los Twins, thank you guys so much. Arturo, that was awesome. I love Joe B. You guys, I've been jamming with Joe B and the Urban Crew for some time. I actually think I caught a show on Thursday. So, Arturo, if you're still there, let us know where we can find you guys regularly. Are you still there? No. All right. No worries. He told us earlier. If you're just now joining us, we're here with Houston in Action, our friends at Move Texas and Mecca Houston. We have another artist that just joined us, you guys. So we're going to go back to Yvette Roman. She's an incredible theater artist, and she's going to be sharing some of her work. Well, I think it's improvisation today, right, Yvette? So tell us a little bit about yourself and then hit it.
Yes, I'm doing voice improvisation today, but I also have done a performance art shows, mostly working with the communities first, and then presenting the work to the public. That's what I've been doing since a long time ago. So.
Start whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Great, thank you so much. Is there somewhere on social media or a website maybe where people can keep up with your impersonations?
Yes, I have a website. It's IvetteRomanRoberto.com. IvetteRomanRoberto. Yvette Roman Roberto.
Great.
And also I collaborate a lot with the organization Nameless Sound, and I teach at Mecca on Mondays, 2 classes, one for kids and another one for adults with autism. And
Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate your time and your work that you do with our communities. She does have a show coming up. When we all get back together and we're out and about, please tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. The show Requiem.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Requiem is a show, it's a community singing show, and it's based on a lab situation, like once a week gatherings for a period of time, for a long period of time. And after the rehearsal, after that experience of being rehearsing weekly, then we do a show. And Requiem is mostly related with losses in the community. The first Requiem that I did was in Puerto Rico, and it was with a community that was losing a lot of relatives and friends due to hate crimes, and that was the theme that they wanted to work with.
Awesome.
And here in Houston, I would love to work with the recently Puerto Rican community that is coming after the Maria hurricane and the earthquakes, and well, and also other collaborations that I would.
Great. Thank you, Yvette. And so we'll keep you guys posted. And if you visit the Mecca website, we're going to have all of the information for that Requiem show once we get it going and started. So yes, thank you for joining us today, Yvette.
Thank you very much.
Yes, that was really great. Thank you for being able to join us. So we want to thank you all again for joining our Arts Houston with Mecca Houston, Move Texas, and Houston in Action. Again, Move is an organization that works with young people all across the state to get them registered to vote, get them involved in local policy issues, and ultimately turn out to vote. We know young people aren't just the future, but they're the present, and we're making sure that our voices are heard. So if you want to keep up with our work, feel free to follow us on social media at move_Texas and at our website, movetexas.org. I also want to thank Houston in Action for putting this together and inviting not only Move, but Mecca to be co-sponsors. Houston in Action is a group of organizations working to make sure that things like voting, volunteerism, running for office, charitable giving, and more. They are an organization that makes sure voting, volunteerism, running for office, charitable giving, and more are accessible options for people here in Houston and Harris County who are interested in taking these steps to engage with their communities or government. You can learn more about Houston in Action by visiting houstoninaction.org.
Excellent, excellent. If you still have not completed your census, by the end of this, you're in luck. The website is still up. You can go to my2020census.gov and finish it there. It takes but a few minutes.
Yeah, but that's not the end of it. These are really wild times we're living in, and we need to be checking in on our friends and neighbors and family as much as we can for their social, physical, emotional well-being, and taking care of ourselves as we're taking care of others. It is in these times I'm checking in on one another that we can ask folks how they're doing, what they need, and whether or not they've completed their census. The census is of vital importance. It's moments like this in which everyone has to rally together in crisis. The census informs how much food ends up in our pantries, how much food is available through educational systems, and the way that we handle healthcare, allocate resources, and more to respond to disasters.
The COVID-19 crisis is giving us the ultimate reminder that the census plays a key role in our ability to thrive and take care of ourselves and one another.
On behalf of Move Texas, Mecca Houston, and Houston in Action, we hope that you've enjoyed today. And if you have, let us know in the comments. We might do this again. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter to find out. Armando, how can people find out about Mecca Houston?
Excellent, sure. And you guys, when you're tweeting and all that great stuff, don't forget those hashtags, Hágase Contar, H-Down Counts. But to find out more information about Mecca, you can visit our website, www.meca-houston.org, or give us the call at 713-802-9370. And again, we have two sites. We're now in the East End as well, Mecca at TBH, at Jensen and Navigation. So stop by when we're all back. Excellent. So most importantly, stay healthy, stay sane, stay home, stay safe. And we all look forward to the day where we can all be together and do this, hopefully in the round with everyone together in the same physical location. But until then, we'll see you again online, hopefully. Let us know if you'd like to try it again. Thank you, guys. Gracias a todos por acompañarnos.
Thanks, y'all. Have a great evening.
Bye-bye. Gracias, Yvette.